Hi, this is Forrest here in the Ciro garage. Today we're going to be removing the fairing on the newer style Street Glide. This is everything from 23.5 on up. We'll have this kind of fairing, and let's begin. First thing we're going to do is take the windshield off by removing these 4 screws holding it on. You don't want to get rid of these screws. We're going to be using them again to put everything back together. This is basically just removal for almost everything that we have. Lights in the front end, almost everything needs to have the fairing removed to be able to install. All right, once the screws are removed, you kind of lift up out of the little grooves here and off it comes. We'll set it here out of the way. The next thing we're going to be removing will be these little risers for the windshield, and that'll allow us to remove the vent area. Okay. That'll allow you to remove this piece, top vent area. Again, let's set that down out of the way here. The next thing we're going to remove is this little screw right here. That's going to allow us to remove the vent trim and vent actuator. Just kind of snaps out, and we'll remove that too. Then the next thing we remove, there's 6 screws on the back side of the fairing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's one that is right here, if you can see it. That one we won't touch because that holds stuff to the inner part of the fairing. It should be fairly evident which ones you want to remove. And you don't have to worry about the fairing falling off or anything at this point. It can't go anywhere. There's still a couple of screws on the top that we have to take out that are going to then allow the fairing to come off. Okay, we'll get this top piece out of here. And then the second one. If I can get my tool down in there. And then, like I said, we'll skip this one and go to the very bottom here. And that frees up the whole back side of the fairing, or the whole lower side of the fairing. And all there are is 2 screws left. All right, the next 2 screws that are last screws that are holding the fairing on are this one here and this one here. They're trapped and held onto the fairing itself, so you don't have to worry about removing them all the way. Just loosen them up enough to be able to get the fairing off. And then before you take the fairing off, you want to have a place to set it down that's secure and someplace you can work on the fairing, because that'll be what you're going to be doing no matter what light you're putting on. They just loosen up, and the fairing's loose now. Now, at this point, it's best to have like somebody else, and I'll ask my wonderful assistant Stephanie to come over and hold on to the fairing. Then we're going to disconnect the front headlight area, just that simple, and we'll set the fairing down over here on our table. And that's all there is to removing the front fairing off of a new Street Glide. Okay, so now that we have the fairing off, we'll show you how to put it back on easily. anything you have, we removed it obviously to put a light on or to be able to do something with it. We'll take care of any of the adjustments we have to make. And then there's two little hooks here that will allow the fairing to kind of stay in place. But again, we'll get Stephanie to give us a hand putting it on, and while I plug it in, and then we'll be good to go. Stephanie, if you would. First, we'll plug in the headlight here. And then it'll sit right on these two little hooks there. And we're just gonna kind of set it back into place. And then we'll start tightening. You got that, Stephanie?
Yep.
Okay. We'll take and start by tightening these screws here. Once you got these secure, it really can't go anywhere at all. It doesn't want to go anywhere because it's kind of hanging on those bottom two little tabs to begin with. I think Harley did that so we don't drop so many fairings. From here, all you do is reverse the order of removal, put all the screws in tight, snug them all up, make sure everything's in good shape, and you'll be done. You can visit us at Ciro3D.com if you have any other issues or questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. This is Forrest in the Ciro garage. Have a good day.